Next up, as an optional accessory, is a Dynojet wideband fuel monitoring device. This can be an AT200, it can be an AT300, one of our target tunes, or even just our wideband 2, which is a versatile device for monitoring of AFRs, even on an automobile application, a UTV, or any other sort of power sports application. So this device, coupled with this CAN cable, can correlate AFR data from the sensor monitored by the wideband 2 device through the CAN cable outside one of these ports and into the Power Commander 6 to convey real-time AFI monitoring to the Power Commander 6. From there, you can simply just log the data. You can log your AFR data based on operational conditions of RPM, throttle position, maybe even pressure if you've tapped into an analog sensor on your bike. So monitoring of that AFR then avails auto-tune. Yes, the Power Commander 6 can auto-tune using the data stream from a wideband 2 or an auto-tune device from the wideband unit to the Power Commander. So enter in your target AFR. Say you want to target 13.0 at wide open throttle. The AFR monitor device will monitor that data, convey it to the Power Commander 6. If it's reading 13.5 or a little lean, it will enrichen the fuel delivery to richen up the burn to then keep you in that safe realm, basically turning your bike into a full-time closed loop area around your specified target AFR. Again, these can range from our wideband 2 device all the way out to a dual channel target tune where all you're doing is conveying AFR data from the module to the Power Commander 6, which then the Power Commander takes over the heavy lifting of actually performing the fuel changes, trimming up or down. The wideband 2 is kind of meant as a standalone. Like I mentioned, it's good for automotive applications. All these extra wires here, such as the ability to, you got to power it up. So you got your red wire, black and black-white for tapping of grounds. And then there's also these other two. Gray, you can tap into an analog. It might be on your vehicle. Maybe it's a throttle position sensor on your car or a manifold pressure sensor. This white-blue, that's an RPM signal. So you can actually tap maybe the primary side of an ignition coil to get real-time monitoring of just your RPM signal. Then no Power Commander needed. All you have is this. All it is a monitor, and you plug in your Pod 300. So then all of the data gathered by this, you simply pipe into a Pod 300. And where you would see, yes, your calibrated throttle position, if that's what you're using on this analog, or your RPM reading from here. And then it just conveys that wideband data. So you kind of turn into this subset of you're monitoring, yes, your engine parameters, maybe with a different tool, but this wideband tool gives you that expansion into, well, I can tap another engine RPM, or I can tap another analog if I've already run out. I've got my Power Commander that can do one additional analog. Well, I need another one. The wideband 2 is your tool to gather in that other data. Whereas an AutoTune 200, it just has two wires coming out of it. Power and ground. You tap into your keyed power, it might be your taillight on a sport bike or some other relayed power on a UTV. It's just red, black, much more slim and simple for the application of just, here's my AFR data, convey it to my Power Commander 6 and let it auto-tune. This gives you a little bit more flexibility in gathering of data and tapping of signals. Along with this wideband 2 for taking in data, such as the RPM and an analog, it also has an output to one of Dynojet's sweep needle gauges. So it's a digital out to a gauge. Also, this green wire here is a output to a oxygen sensor. We can actually drive a narrowband O2 signal to a specified voltage, such as, well, don't sit there at hovering at X lambda or X volt. Drive it a little richer. So we can actually richen up inside closed loop using this. Any of you Grom guys out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where we pre-program in a switch point voltage in here to then, you plug this guy in with your Power Commander 6, and it just brings your air fuel ratio down from that 15:1 that those guys like to run down to like 14:0 inside closed loop. So we actually take control, or we spoof that narrowband reading out right with that wire right there. Pretty cool.